Rozlyn Engel, welcome to WPC TV. You're from the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, and you've just, should I say, escaped from a senior position at the US Treasury. More importantly for us, you've just been involved in a long session on President Trump. What do you think a fair judgment of the Trump presidency is so far?
As I hope I was able to convey, I would give the administration credit for stimulating short-term growth. I think that the combination of the corporate tax reform, deregulation, both have been viewed very positively by American businesses. You can see a pretty sharp increase in profits. You can see a rise in capital expenditures. And you can see the economy is growing at a very fast clip at the moment. I think the longer term judgment is still to be determined. I'm a little concerned that the growth could be short-lived. Because of debt, or? Because the real fundamental determinants of long-run growth are productivity and labor force growth. So we're already at kind of full employment, so it's not like we're going to get a lot of labor force growth except from population growth. Population growth in the US is slowed considerably. I like to tell people that we're really in a period of labor scarcity. We're not in a period of labor abundance in the United States, or really any developed.
Are you also in a period of skills
yes.
uncertainty and
yes.
lack of skills?
Yes, we have skill shortages across the economy, and they're beginning to bite in certain industries. I was out at giving a talk to the aircraft industry, and they described huge numbers of shortages and new things that they're working on in terms of working with vocational schools, trying to develop more training programs. These are things that were not happening for like 8 to 10 years while labor was essentially so abundant because there was so much slack. I think we had a mindset that, unemployment was the problem. But when you're growing, when your labor force is growing at literally 1/5 the rate that it was even 20 years ago, you're really in a different world.
A last question. I think normally, conventional economists would say this is a very mercantilist approach that the president is using. Is it possible for it to be sustained? Without damaging all sorts of things?
I think it's a very complicated question because I think it's a very political question. So I think the president, as I set up on stage, that there are large swaths of the American population, particularly white, lower middle class households, who've done very poorly in the last 20 years. So life expectancy in that cohort has actually declined. You have tremendous growth in opioid and drug abuse, and very, very low wage growth and increasing use of disability. Very, very significant problems are in those communities. And I think that the president is reflecting some of that pain, and I think he's using some of the protectionism as a way of signaling and saying, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to take care of you, I understand it, by using kind of foreign foes, foreign trading partners, as scapegoats for a lot of these issues. So I think that it's very politically driven. I don't believe the president himself is actually interested in damping down growth. I actually think he cares about growth. But I think he's willing to sacrifice some growth to placate this.
And of course, politics and economics always go together. Rozlyn Engel, thank you so much for being on WPC TV.
Nice to meet you.